Miramar just yesterday. But it is a different day, and we might see a different team end up on top. But those are the usual suspects. Those are the teams that made it. Yo, 7, back to you, baby. Look at this zone.
I was kind of half joking, okay?
Well, you got it anyways.
I know I requested it. I know I want to see madness, but I mean, if anybody from NA can take advantage of it, boys, I'm going to take it, all right? Just separating them from second place.
We can't forget as well, the start of the day intense game has had some phenomenal matches, to say the least. And for Alpha 7, I really enjoy the fact that they weren't even expecting VIP to be making it across the water. Surprised that there was 8 players on that northern side with them. And for the most part now, luckily for some of these other teams, they don't have to.
It's 4 Illims, 15th place, 0 Illims. So hopefully we'll be able to see something out of 9C. A team that was quite exciting to watch yesterday. Today, they're kind of letting me down a little bit. But now we're going to be switching over to X-Force in a situation where they're going to have to be defensive here. And they're going to have to be defensive against Alpha 7.
Yeah, the scary thing, though, here, Seven Worlds, is the fact that both of these teams are essentially on that center point of the map. Yeah, they've got this roadside kind of to worry about, but scouting these positions are so hard early on in the match that a lot of these teams might opt to just full send. So if you're either one of these teams, you're going to be having your eyes and ears open, hoping that the other squad gets crashed. And I'm really kind of interested in seeing. I've only seen it once before, Taylor. It was actually a competitive game back, I think, in PMCO or one of the first PMPLs. This eastern field, east of Influence Rage, completely flat and barren, not even really hay bales for these teams to play at. I've seen it shift there. It was essentially a Zone 8 stage game. If that compound on the east side of it, it is one of the most deadliest spots on the map for you to play on in Miramar. And for it to have, essentially, in my mind, a quarter of the zone potential in play there on the next circle shift, I could see a lot of these teams dropping. But now we got to shift it right down to the south side. Loops making the rotation into Vios Gaming, a squad that's desperately needing the points, already having 4 elims taking the brawl at squads. But Igor caught by another squad rotating south. That's going to be VIP.
VIP coming up from the southern portion of the map now into the northern side. Loops has 1 player down that's in a bete. Fortunately, they're going to have to leave him to bleed out, and VIP might not even get the cleanup. It doesn't even matter anyways. VIP is going to hug this right side. They're most likely going to extend past Loops and probably go all the way up into the northern side to be just south of Team Liquid. That's what I would do anyways, and there's even a benefit to going there because now you're going straight into a solo of Loops, which is going to be Rafina. Focus our attention to Alpha 7. Thosme gets X-Force, but not the case this time around. It's actually United for Games as Alpha 7 suffering an early loss, but snapping back, putting the attention onto Hate and dropping him. Mystic, unfortunately, just trying to crawl away as quickly as he can. He's not going to be able to. He's going to be finished off. Alpha 7, good recovery. I would have been shocked. No offense to United for Gaming, but I would have been shocked if that would have been the team to eliminate Alpha 7 this early.
100%. I thought that they were going to maybe end up losing one of the players there for them to be able to just showcase why they were so good yesterday in regards to just being ready for that trade. They were able to execute it perfectly, and I'm actually surprised. I don't know why X-Force didn't end up trying to third-party that. I'm kind of happy about it. I was surprised because I thought they were going to go for it, but I'm pleasantly happy that they didn't go for it because it might have been just way too many teams close by. There you go. United for Gaming gets eliminated. You can see the player just putting his hand to his face saying, oh, man, this is just not going the way we wanted to. A team that's currently in 12th place and a team that has definitely showed up today. Team Liquid. They have been exciting so far, being able to just make one of the biggest push. They started off the day in 13th place, now in 7th place. Usually they say Miramar is our favorite map.
The AGG solo player, which, by the way, before we saw that circle shift, AGG had a full 4-man spread, essentially on 50% of the map. So them coming through, unfortunately, we're going to see it now, actually wondering what happened with that Savage Esports player. Well, he's got eliminated, 0 points, losing 3 players early on. It's not something we really were expecting much out of, but it's really that close to wins. It was more they were sneaking by with some of the placements. But now we're wondering what happened on the north side. X-Force, they were forced into this fight with Shoot to Survive. Full rotations around from Klaus, Valak, needing to support his teammate, getting the full sun play, and his teammates baiting him out in the open. Alem, unfortunately, being knocked in the process 1 for 1, but X-Force, they're the ones set up for the revive. They're the ones set up for this engagement. Shoot to Survive now having to turn their backs from the inside of zone towards X-Force here. And Taylor, I'm wondering, Shoot to Survive, you got to take this fight now. You can't allow this reset to come through. Where's the pressure going to be coming from?
Yeah, and I hate to see NA on NA violence, but yeah, you're right. Your Shoot to Survive, you've got to push into X-Force. You've already got Fate down. You've outputted a lot of damage. Your compound is up for grabs, but are you willing to do it? Are you willing to take this opportunity? Well, they're doing so. They'll get the full finish onto Fate. X-Force would not have to fight it out with just 3 players alive, but Shoot to Survive has 3 themselves, so it's an even fight. But Papa Blue's moving in, and it's going to start ticking harder and harder, especially when stage fights begin. So finishing this fight quickly is only going to benefit you, but Aleem is looking to turn the tides, taking down Bob, focused on Casper. Casper splits the difference alongside that of Darklight, will take down Aleem. It's now going to be a 1v1, actually. 24K versus the last remaining player of Darklight. Darklight, so weak, finished off by Playzone, and it will be X-Force moving forward. But man, they're doing it with just 1 player, and it's 24K. I know that hurts.
It definitely hurts, but at least for them, being able to secure 2 eliminations, it's going to be tough for this player to get any more points, but I'm hoping it happens. Something that we didn't get a chance to see in the map, and we didn't get a chance to see because this fight was going on, was Alpha 7 was able to catch somebody from AGG. Remember I said AGG might have been a little bit too spread out? Alpha 7 caught 1 player that was very close to them, and they made sure that AGG back up. I wonder if that's going to allow Alpha 7 to just get some more terrain, especially when we end up getting the next circle. You can see AGG still there towards the center, being a little bit too split out for my liking, especially with the way this team has been playing, and they need to make sure they come back quickly because all of those teams, Alpha 7, VIP, Influence, and maybe At Loops into that too, they're going to be looking to find a way to get in. And meanwhile, Coops is currently knocked down, and he's a player that currently has 2 eliminations to his name. Luckily for him, his team is close by and will be able to pick him up.
Yeah, thankfully for Wolves as well, they were able to clean up that last player of Intense Gaming. I believe that was what the trade was for Coops to make this play, at least force that player into the 1v1. Now, Wolves control all of this northwestern side, but unfortunately, this eastern edge is where all these teams were congested down. Alpha 7 taking pod shots at VIP, actually having 2 players already knocked at Squash, just laying it down through the smoke, through the doorway onto the player, now down to just Ayuya. Influence Rage as well, hearing the commotion, trying to get their piece of the pie in it. And I think you're going to be right here, 7, about AGG and Alpha 7. They allowed Alpha 7, the most dominant team in the lobby, to get this information on your squad. You need to allow yourself this opportunity to try to keep back this Goliath in the lobby. All these teams fighting on the eastern side, you got to look for your piece of the pie here and try to get these eliminations, because if you're the 3-man right now, you got to be looking for the fight.
Yeah, and AGG might end up getting distracted here with some of the fights going on. I know we currently have Influence Rage versus Loops right in front of us, but some of those teams were rotating around. Vitinho now continuing on the fight here against Loops, being the last player alive. Loops Esports up to 4 eliminations. Some players are still alive for Influence Rage. It is going to be a 3 versus 1. The grenades are going to start coming in. Diego, all the buggies going around. Little boy going for the push is going to be able to connect, having Vitin very, very low on HP. Can he actually find them through that smoke? And there you go. Loops Esports Vitin does end up getting eliminated. And what I was going to end up saying is Alpha 7 taking advantage of AGG playing way too spread out, way too confident, and being able to pick them apart. And all of that north that was controlled by AGG is now controlled by Alpha 7.
That's right. And also for Team Liquid's sake, Team Liquid stayed in the back lines. They will pick up the last remaining player of AGG and now can capitalize on Influence Rage, who now has to push into Team Liquid. And matter of fact, this is a beautiful chance. They might be able to third-party this fight between Influence Rage and Alpha 7. By doing that, you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're getting the top dogs out of the lobby, plus the other top 3 team, putting Team Liquid definitively in the top 5 running. But will they choose to actually be the aggressors? Well, at least at the moment, I don't think so. We focus on Eco against Wolves. Nice shots from 7. That's going to drop Wacho up ahead. He'll reposition with the nade, and even the smoke, I should say, to maybe focus on to Coop's door and laying as low as he can. He wants to make sure he takes the perfect opportunity to attack onto McGrellin as well as Adrian. And the chance has arrived. You see him poke his head up, but the smoke unfortunately obscures his vision. He can't effectively attack. McGrellan pushes forward, but now McGrellan's getting double teamed, and he's taken down. Inko is out. And again, the question remains, Team Liquid, Influence Rage. Does Team Liquid aggress onto them? Well, no, they don't. They sit idly by. They're taking their time, and Alpha 7's taking the opportunity now to take down Influence Rage.
Yeah, unfortunately for Influence Rage.
Final, but Mafioso's gonna get spotted by Yala. That's gonna be a massive disadvantage there for Alpha 7 with their anchor being down. And on top of that, Rebel's still trying to get this eliminations on Wolves. There goes Wolves. Top 4 situation here for Alpha 7. Trying to find an opening. The grenades are gonna be coming in. It's not only gonna be between Team Liquid. 9C is around as well. And on top of that, you have Row 19 just being patient, waiting for the right opportunity. All this utility from all these teams that have been patient, that have been waiting for the right opportunity. It's going to be close quarters. I'm pretty sure we're going to end up seeing some shotguns as well. But who's going to be striking first? Team Liquid was able to do it in regards to Mafioso, getting him whenever he peeked out, overextended too much. 9C, they're not even moving, boys. They're just waiting to see what Alpha 7 and Team Liquid are going to be doing.
And for what it's worth, I love where 9Z are at. They're in this like fatal triangle. They can funnel everybody into them, and each of them can cover each other's angles. They're not just stacking on top of each other. Their line of sights, they can cover so many different paths. Their opponents are pushing a Mythic just on the opposite side of Remix, who's been the bushwalk. He's been bush camping for the longest time. Finally, 9Z gets active. They have no choice but to shoot. Remix with 2 TL members in front of him. The question is, when does he choose to attack? Is this the moment? They haven't spotted him. Remix, you can pick up 2, you can pick up 3, and there he goes. 1, 2, get the 3 on the team. He switches guns, he drops, but still a devastating effect. 9Z getting active. They want to capitalize off of these downs. They know they've got Team Liquid dead to rights, and in fact, Team Liquid are now out. 9Z did exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah, but now we're leaving it up just to Kolgo. Milos wasn't able to survive, and now the nades come through. Alpha 7 understands the situation now, somehow finding a knock as well across the map. 3v3 situation. Alpha 7, they're on top of the crates. They've got the uphill advantage now here, 7. Will they be able to find the nades? Revo's got a few in his bag, but the reset comes through. Can they find the angles? And for Rose of War, I think you got to get up on here. You can't give Alpha 7 all this space.
Alpha 7, luckily for them, they are a team that's currently within the center. You can see Royals of War now being aware of that, trying to make the push. They currently do have the numbers advantage, and Quash is trying to switch that around as he currently has Aragon just pinned down against that buggy. If he even picks up, there you go. He's going to end up getting knocked. There's going to be 3 here in front of him. There goes 1. He's going to get cut off from the back. They're there for the trade. Is it going to be Alpha 7? Yes, it is. Be Alpha 7 showing that they want to stay in the first spot and playing that perfectly.